Hey everyone, my name is Jeremy, and I wanted to do an interesting video, or a video I thought was interesting. IO psychology. I'm hoping that by the end of this video that I can pique your interest in what IO psychology is, maybe even get you to take a course on IO psychology, or if you're really feeling dangerous, major in IO psychology. So full disclosure, I did just complete my Master of Science in IO Psychology, which is why I'm feeling inspired at the moment. I'm not reading articles that are 5 and 10 pages long, if not more. I'm taking naps and enjoying life while I can. But anyways, why would somebody want to think about IO Psychology? What is IO Psychology? Well, according to the American Psychological Association, the specialty of industrial organizational psychology, also called IO psychology, is characterized by scientific study of human behavior in organizations and the workplace. The specialty focuses on deriving principles of individual groups and organizational behavior and applying the knowledge to the solution of problems at work. Now, PSYOP, which is like the golden standard, or I don't want to say governing body, but the North Star of IO psychology, I'll say, says that IO psychology is the scientific study of the workplace. Now, why would somebody want to study the workplace? Because, in my opinion, you'll be able to figure out why people do the things that they do. You know how that boss that gets on your nerves is just a butthole? There's research that tells you why they're doing what they're doing. You know why people don't come to work? Well, there's a bunch of case studies out there that tells you why people may not come to work. You want to know why the organization is not hitting its goals? Well, pretty sure there's research out there that'll tell you why. If I had to put IO psychology in my own words, it's literally about identifying a problem and then finding research to help you pinpoint the root of the cause of that problem, and then a solution that's been proven to work in that particular scenario. When I was a frontline supervisor, I wish that somebody had talked to me about IO psychology. When I was maybe even a frontline employee thinking about leadership, I would have wished somebody would have talked to me about IO psychology. When I talked to people that were in HR, I wish that they told me about IO psychology, because I can truly be a better employee, a better leader, a better individual contributor, people leader, when I know why people do the things that they do. So let's look at IO psychology at different phases of the employee journey. If I needed to hire employees, IO psychology is there. If I needed to train employees, IO psychology is there. If I needed to manage an employee's performance, IO psychology is there. If I needed to figure out why employees are misbehaving, IO psychology is there. IO psychology is literally everywhere in the employee journey. When bringing employees into the workforce, IO psychology can point to tools and resources that are valid and reliable that will help you predict the best candidate for the job that you're looking for. IO psychology in the training phase can help you identify what competencies are necessary to ensure somebody is successful in their roles. From a performance management perspective, IO psychology can help you pinpoint specific behaviors, or how should I say, help you create a well-defined performance management system that allows managers to know specifically what behaviors to look for, to then be able to give more candid or more effective feedback is probably the better way to say it. When looking at performance across different work locations, and you see that maybe based on an engagement survey that one location is better than the other, IO Psychology will help you through statistics identify what could be the correlation or what could be the predictor variable that is causing people to do the things that they do. IO Psychology is literally everywhere. So let's see if I can think of a few random scenarios when I was a frontline supervisor, how IO Psychology would have helped me. So, I was a sales supervisor for a while, and the one thing that I noticed was that people really were not happy on certain teams. I noticed that they would do things like not sign into the phone when they're supposed to, or they would disrupt meetings, or they would just blatantly ignore supervisors. Well, IO Psychology tells me that that individual is demonstrating potentially counterproductive work behavior. And the root cause of that is potentially because they had an idea of what was supposed to happen in the workplace and it was violated. In other words, their psychological contract was voided or violated. And thus, what they were expecting to receive from the organization, potentially an environment that includes them or encourages them to be their best, wasn't received. And thus, over time, they start doing things that they're not supposed to do. Another example might be in training. Maybe if I'm a new employee supervisor, I realize that employees are not coming out with the right skills that they should be coming out with. IO Psychology would help me to identify what skills are missing or what knowledge or abilities are missing, and then formulate a plan to help train those individuals or work backwards with the learning and development department to solve for that issue. Culture. Let's say that I am a culture consultant or senior analyst in my work location, and I notice that there are certain behaviors that are happening that shouldn't be. Well, maybe I put together a survey based on a scale or questionnaire that's been validated and proven as reliable and valid. And after collecting data, I realized that in the verbatims, people don't trust their leadership. Well, with IO Psychology, I can dig a little bit further into that. Maybe there is a process that's in place that people don't feel is fair. Maybe there are certain outcomes that are happening that people don't feel is fair. Maybe there are certain relationships that are being fostered that others aren't being able to take advantage of, and that's not fair. That type of organizational justice is what we would look at. Let's see if I can come up with something else. Maybe I work in a high-paced environment and turnover is really, really high. Well, IO Psychology would allow me to create a scale or survey that would help me understand what's the root cause of people leaving. Organizational volatility is what I believe that's called. So I would find research that talks about high turnover or turnover in general, find the constructs that are related to my situation, find scales that would help me, and then put together something that organizational leaders would stand behind, collect information, evaluate the information, and put together an analysis of that information in a way that organizational leaders can comprehend and say, this is causing people to leave our organization. So as you can see, IO psychology is all over the place. I hope that just in these simple scenarios, you'll be able to figure out maybe some topics that you're interested in. Maybe you'll go and YouTube a few more videos, or maybe even look up a course or major in it. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day.